Okay, I'm going to tell you some truths right now. You do not have to subscribe to every EdTech tool that you find out there in the marketplace, right? I'm going to tell you some reasons why from personal experience. Hi, everybody. My name is Tristan Heron. I'm an education, innovation, and growth specialist, and I am here to help you embrace educational technology and develop those future-focused classrooms. All right, so today I'm going to tell you some truths. Yes, I'm going to drop some truth bombs. You do not have to subscribe and financially invest in every EdTech tool that is available on the marketplace. And I'm going to tell you a lot of this from personal experience. So every day I am seeing these brand new, really amazing EdTech tools that are being released into the marketplace, the education marketplace. And do you know what? They look fantastic. They are big, they're bold, they're innovative, they are gamified, they're using AI, they're really exciting. And you might instantly want to jump in and actually start using these tools. But I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do that, and maybe some things to think about before you actually decide to make a financial commitment. All right, so the very first reason why you should not subscribe and invest in every single EdTech tool is because it's going to cost you an absolute truckload of money. Yes, we're teachers. Some people are not paid very well around the world. We work hard, all right? You should be using your money for you, all right? You are the most important person in the world. Your students, okay, they come on a little bit longer, down the list. But ultimately, you need to look after yourself first. So you shouldn't be going out there paying for subscriptions to all of these EdTech tools, all right? It is just not fair on you. The second reason is that, just like if you're like me, I have subscribed to tools before, and then I have forgotten about those tools, not actually used them as much as I should have to get the benefit out of the cost. And then I have forgotten that they are set to auto-renew. They auto-renew, I don't realize, and then boom, I'm out another couple of $100 for another 12 months of something that I may or may not be using. So, that's not the best thing to do either. Here's some tips to make sure that if you're going to invest in some of these tools, you actually get the best for your buck. All right, so recently on one of my Innovative EdTech episodes, I talked about the fact that when it comes to EdTech tools, don't subscribe to everything that you see, all right? Because you need to think about, are you actually using these tools, and how often are you using these tools? Are you only using them once per year? Because if you're only using them once per year, there's no point in subscribing for 12 months. If you're using a tool regularly with your students or your classes, then yes, subscribing for 12 months is probably going to be much more financially beneficial. Another reason you really need to be careful when it comes to subscribing to these EdTech tools is because a lot of these tools offer you discounts if you pay for 12 months. Now, this is why I have stopped subscribing to every single tool that I find for 12 months. Once upon a time, I would have, because I would be like, oh, look, I'm getting 12 months for the price of 10. Yes. However, I just wasn't using those tools enough to justify that particular cost. So my piece of advice here is that if you are going to look at a tool and you think it's a tool that you might use, maybe just consider paying for a month. Okay, I recently did this with a prac student that I had on my classes. We found a tool, and that tool was actually called Storyboard That. We wanted to try it out and test it with my classes, and I subscribed to that for 1 month. Now, I'm lucky that Storyboard That has a really great intro deal, so it didn't actually cost me a lot of money, but we tried it, we played with it, we used it for the month. It's a great tool, okay? But at the moment, I don't really have any plans on where or how I could use it again to justify paying for 12 months membership to that. So my piece of advice is that if you're going to use a tool as a one-off, just pay for it for a month, or pay for it for however long you think you are going to need it. It's going to save you money, all right? It's going to save you the pain of seeing that invoice in your email when it auto renews and you have forgotten about it. So you don't have to go out there and subscribe to everything. Do I subscribe to tools? Yes, I do. How many tools do I subscribe to? I think at the moment I subscribe to maybe 2 or 3 tools. And the reason I subscribe to these tools is because I use them consistently. And I know at least 2 of them that I can think of. There's probably more. But 2 of the tools that I do subscribe to and continue to renew is Bamboozle. So if you haven't used Bamboozle, it's a great gamified learning option where you can use that with your classroom, and it creates this game-like kind of environment where the students don't require technology, they don't require devices. You just need a teacher device. The questions and interactivity is displayed on that, but you don't actually need the kids to have devices, which is a big plus for me. So that is one tool that I continue to invest in. Another tool that I continue to invest in each year is Bingo Card Creator. Now, a little biased here, I've been part of the Bingo Card Creator universe for quite a few years now. So it is something that I have played around with for quite a long time, just crossing a road, trying not to get run over. So Bingo Card Creator is another one that I subscribe to because I love using bingo cards in the classroom. It's a great little activity to reinforce vocab, language, look at different characters, themes, settings, plots, all these different kinds of elements that make up the texts and modules and things that we're studying in my classroom. So Bingo Card Creator is another one of those tools that I subscribe to. Have I subscribed to tools in the past? Yes. I've subscribed to tools, for example, Tristan, which I've talked about in another video. I have subscribed to that. I would absolutely subscribe to that again, but would I subscribe for 12 months? Depends on what I'm using it for. I have subscribed to Kahoot before, okay? Definitely subscribe to Kahoot and use that to, in the classrooms. Do I subscribe to Kahoot now? Not at this particular point in time, because obviously access to devices can be quite difficult and challenging. So I want to find tools that are going to be easy to access, and they're going to be things that I can use, quickly with my classes. So what I really want to emphasize in this video is that you don't have to subscribe to every tool. And if there is a tool that you are interested in, my suggestion is first trying the free trial if it's available, trying the free plan. Yes, they are normally very limited and not the best, but it can give you a little bit of a sense as to whether this is something that you would like to investigate more. Then if you have a tool that you really like, if it's only a one-off for say one class and you're only using it very briefly, my suggestion is only paying for that for a month or however long you're going to use it in your classroom. If it is a tool, let's say Nearpod or Pear Deck or something like that, where you are going to use it consistently over a 12-month period of the school year, that is when I would actually think about subscribing to that one for the 12 months. But don't be tempted. Don't be manipulated by the marketing and advertising. Think about you first, okay? It's all about you. It's your money. We love our students. We care about them. But you need to think about yourself as well. So think about what you were going to financially invest in and then make a decision on what is best for you. Anyway, I hope that has been useful. This comes from a lot of experience. So, I've been there, I've done this, and I don't want you to have to go through some of these things that I have gone through. I want you to avoid those. All right, so if you want to find out more about some really amazing tools, we'd love for you to check out our innovative EdTech episodes over on the Tristan Heron YouTube channel. And as I mentioned earlier, one of our recent episodes was EdTech on a budget. So we talked about some really low cost or free EdTech tools that you might use. And in that episode, we also provided you with a whole heap of kind of tips so that you can make the best of EdTech tools that are available, so that you aren't spending all of your hard-earned pay on tools for our kids, because we really do need to stop doing this, okay? We are not paid to supply and create and decorate classrooms, all right? This is what governments are for, and they should be supporting us with that. So head over to the Tristan Heron YouTube channel. Make sure, if you haven't done so, we'd love for you to subscribe. We'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers. So please make sure you've done that. Share it with your colleagues, your friends, everybody else, so that we can start to share everything that we love about EdTech with the world. Anyway, I think that's enough for this little video. So just think about what you're subscribing in if you're thinking about financially investing in any EdTech tools for your kids. Anyway, that's it for today. Until next time, everybody, stay safe.